lovely to meet you. So if you could just kick off with a brief intro, what can audiences expect from The Lost King?
Well, it's the story of Philippa Langley, who led the search for Richard III and started her search 7 years before the body was discovered through tenacious research. And it's basically an adventure story where an ordinary person did something extraordinary and came up against a big institution that tried to wrest it from her. And it's an entertaining film. There's lots of comedy in it. It's something that makes you think, but it makes you laugh as well. And it's got heart, and it's a story that's not been told before. So not many people know the truth of this whole thing. So I'm hoping that so people will be entertained and learn something.
And just give us, a little peek into the backstory, because you discovered Philippa's story and you kind of went on your own adventure with it.
Documentary, The King in the Car Park. And I thought it was so compelling. I went to talk to her. Jeff and I had just done a film called Philomena, and we thought this was just a really great story. It's another story about a woman, both called, names begin with Phil, Philomena, Philippa. Philippa's story was similar insofar as it was a marginalised woman who had to fight against insurmountable odds and incurred the wrath of a big institution, and it's sort of a David and Goliath story, the amateur versus the establishment, and so that's irresistible. And when she told me her story, I knew there was a film in it.
And you've assembled such an amazing cast, but right at the centre of it, Sally Hawkins. What is so wonderful about her, and just this nuanced performance?
Well, Sally has a great vulnerability on screen. And she captured Philippa's vulnerability perfectly, and that's really why I really was hoping she would do it. She was tenacious, in some respects quite a strong person, but also quite a vulnerable person. And yet, despite her vulnerabilities, and Philippa has a condition called ME, and we feel that's in the film. That despite these potential pitfalls and potential handicaps, she sort of found the inner strength to see the quest through to the end, and Sally captured that perfectly.
And what do you hope people will take away? And for you personally, how do you capture this brilliant sort of balance, I think, of comedy, but then you also do these amazing roles which do have a lot of sort of like social meaning and a good message?
I do love comedy, but I love drama more in a way. But when I do dramas, I always put a bit of comedy in there because I don't want to bore people, and I want people to be entertained at the same time as learning something. So we always sprinkle some comedy even in the dramas that I do. But I like doing both, and it's like a sort of a symbiotic relationship. If I do a bit of comedy, I want to do some drama. When I've done too much drama, I want to go back and have a laugh and do some comedy. So I like to do both and try and keep both those plates spinning.
Do you ever feel like you've played Alan Partridge so much you have to be careful you don't sort of slip into it?
I do get sick of it sometimes, but I sort of like he's like a sort of a relative that you love, but you don't want to spend too much time with. So, but he'll always be in my life. Yes, I did. I went for a couple of long walks, and he's a lovely man. They've got a very interesting relationship because they're not married, but they both still love each other and they're still in each other's lives. And I've never seen that depicted on screen before. Kind of an ex-husband and wife who still love each other, still in each other's lives. And I wanted to show that. So that's part of the film as well. I hope that people will look at the events that led up to the discovery of Richard III in a new light, in a light I think is the correct and honest version of what happened. And I hope they'll start to look at the whole thing again and look at it with the fresh perspective.